Hello everyone, my name is Muskan. I am a legal intern at Lex Licken Company. So today's topic of discussion is marital silence is not acceptance. So let's proceed with our topic. Introduction to acceptance and marital silence. A contract is made of many elements which is part playing a very important role in the completion of it. In the Indian Contract Act 1872, all of the elements are clearly defined. A contract is nothing but an agreement which can be enforced by law. An agreement is also formed of a promise with a lawful consideration for both the parties. Similarly, an promise comprises of its own parts, offer and acceptance. This is where the whole idea begins. An offer is made by one individual or a group called offerer to another individual or a group called offeree. In order to seek an acceptance from the other party, if an offer is accepted by a valid means, the proposal becomes a promise. All this process sounds like an easy path to follow, but sometimes it can be confusing. The problems arise a lot in the first stage itself, that is making an offer and its acceptance. Common among them is difference of minds, a legal maxim. Concessions and aiding means the meeting of mind is one of the main principles behind offer and acceptance. Therefore, acceptance should be absolute and unqualified, just like the offer. Mere silence under Indian law, which has its root in the English law, is not considered as a valid acceptance. However, acceptance can be either expressed or implied. The confusion regarding whether an acceptance can be done on mere silence basis is clear under the Indian contract law, which remains as invalid, but the question of an act done in silence may amount to an acceptance, or mere silence is the base of the acceptance itself. This makes way for anomalies in the interpretation leading to ambiguities. Therefore, it is subjected to deliberation, which the research will try to further pertain on. The concept of mere silence and acceptance. Acceptance under Section 2B of the Indian Contract Act 1872 is defined as when the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto. The proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. Thus, we can say that an acceptance is an assent to any offer, and it can be converted into proposal into a promise. From this definition of acceptance, we can easily derive that for it to be valid, acceptance must be communicated to the offerer. The absent to the proposal should be signified in a reasonable manner. Shortly afterwards, CJ stated an agreement does not result from a mere state of mind, intent to accept an offer, or even a mental resolve to accept an order does not give rise to a contract. There must be some external manifestation of that intent by speech, writing, or other act. A case which had that mere silence is not acceptance is Feldhaus versus Bindley. In this case, Paul Feldhaus talked to his nephew John Feldhaus about buying his horse. He then sent a letter to John stating that if he does not communicate anything about the horse further, it would mean in the acceptance of the proposal, and the horse would be Paul's property thereafter. The nephew did not reply to this letter and was busy in auction, but he specifically told to Mr. Bindley, whom was the auctioneer, to not to sell the horse. Mr. Bindley anyway sold the house in the auction and then was sued by Paul Feldhaus. Mr. Bindley presented the defense that no acceptance was given by John Feldhaus and therefore there was no contract. The court held the case in Mr. Bindley's favor and said that mere silence does not amount to acceptance, and just mentally accepting it is not enough. This case also gives out two other propositions. Firstly, the communication of acceptance must be with the offerer himself or the person he has authorized for the same. Secondly, we learn that an offer cannot impose upon the offeree the burden of refusal. This means that when an offer is proposed, the offerer cannot say that if no reply came within a given time, then the offer is bound to be accepted. An offerer's silence cannot amount to acceptance once again. Another principle involved in acceptance is that it should be given by the offeree himself and not any third party. An acceptance by an unauthorized person is not valid. This was given in the cause Powell versus Lee. An example of this can be a person hearing that he got a job by someone in the company he applied for, but not in the employing committee. This would be just as if overhearing and not a formal offer for job. When can silence be a valid acceptance? From the earlier stated definition of acceptance, it is clear that an acceptance should be signified. It can be done in various ways. It can be either express acceptance or an implied one. Express acceptance consists of spoken words, written assent, for example, emails and letters. On the other hand, implied acceptance is a bit more complicated. It is basically an act which shows one participant to the proposal by doing such an act, which can clearly depict the consent of it. There is also another way called acceptance by conduct. When someone acts in accordance with the terms in the offer, it is a valid form of acceptance. Under Section 8, it is mentioned performance of the conditions of proposal or the acceptance of any consideration for a reciprocal promise which may be offered with a proposal is an acceptance of the proposal. It can be said that this is an acceptance by performance, just the performance of the conditions of the proposal and providing and accepting the consideration asked for in reciprocal proposal is enough acceptance on the part of the offeree. This can be studied from the decision of Calcutta High Court in Hindustan Co-op Insurance Society versus Shyam Sundar case. In this case, proposal of an agreement on request of the organizer of the company agreed to insure his life. The company sent a doctor for his medical checkup, and after which he found to be first class. Then he was told by organizer that if he submit a form and the half-yearly premium immediately, his insurance policy would be made by them instantly. The proposer did the same and handed the form and check for the premium to the organizer promptly. The company ensures the check of the proposer, who died after a few days. The dependents of the deceased then sued the company for the compensation. In certain cases, communication of acceptance is not necessary. The person proposing the offer may just lay down a prescribed manner, and all that offeree has to do is abide by it and complete its term. For example, if a notice is put out for a missing person and the person who finds her would get a certain amount of cash as a prize. Now, anyone who finds her do not have to give an acceptance to the offerer first and can straight away to do required. Acceptance should always be in a prescribed manner, or if nothing is prescribed, it should be in reasonable and usual form. Also, the exception must be absolute and unqualified, which means that an acceptance cannot be conditional. There are some conditions for a valid acceptance. So let's conclude our topic. As we have a coordinated system of justice, the all case laws and judgments matter a lot in the guidance of new laws. But the facts differ from case to case and so do the judgment. So that's all for today. If you like my video, do like, comment and subscribe the Let's Click YouTube channel. Thank you.